Welcome to 2025. Well, I'm not really recording this in 2025, but I am getting ahead for the holidays. So by the time you're watching this, it should be right after New Year's sometime, give or take. And the reason I'm disclaiming right at the start that I made this ahead of time is in case we get some new news or anything pops up, then you know why I was oblivious to it during this video. Now, the title is as is. It's just the main question. Is it too late to play Valorant in 2025, or should you play Valorant in 2025? Well, the main reason to ask this question is if one, you're a new player, it can definitely feel overwhelming. There's a ton of different maps, a ton of different agents, and we're about to get another agent right around the corner, I assume sometime soon. So it can feel very daunting to actually enter the game of Valorant. And two, the majority of you, including me, have already been playing Valorant for some time now, me personally since the beta, so since launch, and a lot of you either then or sometime along the way. And is Valorant really worth our time as we enter 2025? Now, the good news is that in 2025, there are a couple of things that we're supposed to expect. For example, we're supposed to get the replay system, as well as the port into UE5 for Valorant, alongside what Riot has said, quote unquote, new playable experiences. So I am hopeful for the future of Valorant when it comes to unique content. Because one thing is Valorant will always introduce new agents and new maps. They literally added the map rotation system so they can keep introducing maps. However, I don't love that system. It means certain maps can be out of the map pool for over a year. So while the whole point is to keep the game fresh, it ends up making it very stale due to the fact that the maps are actually limited. Though, like it or not, adding new skins, new agents, and new maps isn't enough to really sustain the game on its own. And I know this from talking to other Valorant creators, to talking to the community, to just your guys' general perception. A lot of people are pretty burnt out on Valorant, and it's why these videos pop up here and there. Everyone's quitting Valorant's getting boring, etc. And to be honest, because there is some underlying truth to one major fact. Without substantial changes to how the community can interact with Valorant, it keeps the game quite limited and will continue to keep the game quite limited and niche to a hardcore competitive audience. Riot has put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is esports first and then basically top-end competitive for Valorant. The casual players always end up suffering the most. Now, as of right now, we're already midway through the holidays and they have not added back a special game mode like Snowball Fight. If it does happen by the time you're watching this, round of applause. I just, as of right now, it doesn't look like it's happening. We're supposed to already get gifting. There was rumors it's supposed to be part of the holidays. Right now, it still hasn't happened. But, you know, that one still could. That one still could. I hope they don't disappoint. If we don't get gifting or a special game mode for the holidays, it's sort of the representation of why I'm making this video. And if you're already been playing Valorant for a long time, as you enter 2025 outside of a new agent, there isn't too much to look forward to. Your rank gets reset. You play the same thing. You get your rank. You either grind for a buddy or you don't, and you rinse and repeat the exact same game mode outside of basically nothing. There's no other creativity. Valorant's core fundamental game loop is I will improve, I will get better over time until I don't want to play anymore. Once you either peak or you stop improving, there is no more self-reward in playing the game. Like if you're a new player, which is where I want to switch the perspective on, if you are a new player and you want to play Valorant in 2025, what is cool as a new player is you get to learn a bunch of agents. You get to try out a ton of agents. You get to see quite rapid improvements, because anything in life when you first start, you can sort of see rapid gains or improvements very quickly, especially if you put your mind to it. So you get the satisfaction of rapid improvement, trying a bunch of different agents, earning those points and buying cool little buddies and banners, or using those points to buy the agents themselves. So you have something you're working towards. Everything feels so fresh. And if you jump into Swift plays, all the map pool is open, so you can try out all the maps in a very bite-sized game mode. And then eventually you're going to want to go hardcore and start your ranked journeys. Like if you were to jump into Valorant as a new player, they've even remade the tutorial to be a lot more in depth and get people into the game. And it's available on console now, which is something amazing that happened in 2024. As a new player, getting into Valorant right now is actually pretty cool. Like I think most of us here have been playing for a while. If we could reset and be a new player to Valorant, it's exciting, right? That's when Valorant is peak, especially if you have a couple of friends to have a good time with. Valorant is definitely worth trying. It is an amazing free-to-play game with very expensive skins. Try not to fall for the trap. If you're a new player though, there's absolutely no reason not to hop on and give it a good go. Something else to reflect on in 2024 is Riot really didn't try community events, and every community event was very boring, like watch something or sort of just go in game and redeem a code. There was nothing active in game. Like, you know how we all get battle pass challenges while playing the battle pass? By the way, there's also been no major battle pass revisions. So, you know, at the top you have a little UI, it tells you these challenges you can do, like daily challenges. Like, I don't know why we haven't gotten like in-game challenges that we can all see as a community, like certain amount of headshots or something like that we all work towards, that ends up rewarding us. And then there could be like, the more you contribute, you get a bonus reward, you know, so you can't just sit and get it for free. It would be really cool, you know what I mean? Like something to interact with the community and bring the community together would be kind of huge. And I really thought 1 year ago, I think I made something like similar to this, and I always make these yapathons where I do complain on a couple things. It's just weird to see no sort of evolution when it comes to community events. I did think it was going to happen in 2024, and we're at the end of it and nothing happened. With that being said, I do want to reflect on a positive aspect, so it's not just all negative. For example, Riot did do stuff like add the Outlaw and of course the regen shield, which absolutely changed the game a lot. Their new stuff in our shop, and that's something I definitely appreciate. They also did continue to rework and adjust agents at a pretty decent pace, of course, with the latest Phoenix changes, etc. Sometimes they do blunder, like leaving Neon too overpowered for too long, but my biggest thing is that they do other changes that do shake things up enough where it's enjoyable, right? Like that regen shield in the end still changed Valorant permanently, and it is a cool addition to the game. So I do want to mention that in 2024, Valorant did show that they're going to continue to sort of shake things up, which makes a big difference. It really does make a big difference. It's cool getting these huge updates that shake things up, and there's a reason they did this big update near the end of the year. It's to shake things up and enjoy Valorant in a fresh new light during the holidays, the off season, the pro off season, and things get sort of balanced and pace off until they re-pick up during pro season. Now during the pro season or major events, they don't make any substantial changes to the game. That's just, again, all the eggs in one basket, and the top priority being esports, which of course can be fine, but I do think they have to look the other way if they want to do that for esports. At least look the other way and add more unique game modes that happen during seasonal events, or really cool things that we can achieve or get rewards of, because we also, like, we did get a reward system. It is something I complained about, and we started to be able to earn points and buy stuff from a reward shop, which is old buddies as well as player cards. And I don't want to hate on that, because that is still really good, to be honest, and it is something I appreciate. It's not something I personally use a ton. I just don't care too much about it, but I think from a player's perspective, it is cool that you can start equipping your guns with buddies and changing your profile. I just wish we had a little bit more. We have the agent contracts, of course, where you can get some free skins that way, but I feel they are all designed for new players, which of course I already just mentioned earlier. If you're a new player, you have stuff to work towards, so that makes a lot of sense. But I feel Valorant has a very strong funnel new players in your first, like, I don't want to say few hours, I would say your first couple months of Valorant is really engaging, and they're hoping that in those couple months they convert you into a ranked demon or iron player. It doesn't matter, a ranked grinder. Like, that is the conversion. And then once you're grinding ranked, they want you to improve and get really into it and eventually watch the esports. Like, that's sort of the Valorant funnel. And for people like me, obviously you've seen my channel, or my second channel, Valorant Curious. I do a lot of custom games, a lot of messing around, and they are a ton of fun. And I am glad there are custom games. I'm glad I have modifiers. I'm grateful because Valorant given me these jobs basically with these two channels, so don't get me wrong, but I feel just improving this will be huge, because they did a lot early on and then they sort of tapered off and stopped messing with it. But more custom game options, ways to maybe save game modes, more community events, more for fun game modes that we can re-access and customize ourselves, like all this will help that mid section. Because think about it, either you end up grinding ranked, you play super casually to the point you're probably not watching this video if you're too casual, where you just hop on with friends and sort of chill, watch Valorant in the background, or you end up really enjoying the game like I did, but not wanting to grind ranked, nor only having swift play. And I'm not the only one here. This is where the burnout and people getting bored come from, and that's, I believe Riot can put some more energy there, because why not give another path? It'll only increase the player base over the long run, and the more players that are sustained over the long run, eventually people will still try out ranked. Some people will still convert the other way, but giving more options for content, ends up more views, which ends up more players anyways. It's sort of like a huge win all around. With that being said though, I do believe it is something that Riot will eventually do. I am holding out hope. If you've perceived this video as negative at all, it's actually not, because in the end, I'm just reflecting on things I'd like to see improved, but I do again need to mention Riot did a lot, right? Launching on console alone is no small feat, and then everything else along with it. They reworked a lot this year. That's the thing, like they still did a ton this year, and I know I'm missing some stuff at the top of my head. They did a ton. Of course, skins year over year have been sort of similar in the sense of their release cycle. Some pop off, some are like meh. We got Kuronami, people absolutely love that. Next year, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of great skins and a lot of skins people don't like, and I'm sure all of them will be overpriced as well. But for the sake of honesty and nothing else, is it worth playing Valorant in 2025? If you're a long-term player, I think most of you already know the answer. You're gonna be playing occasionally, or you're just gonna be grinding ranked, no in between. And if you're a new player, then absolutely hop on and have fun, because everything will be so fresh and new, and Valorant has created a great early funnel for new players to really grasp and enjoy the game. They did this on purpose, and they did fantastic doing so. For the rest of us, I hope we get more ranked rewards for people who grind the ranked, and improvements within the ranked systems to reduce smurfing and other issues. I hope that for the casual player like me, we get more custom modes and more community events. And for the entire player base, I definitely do hope we get new playable experiences that shake up the Valorant universe. And of course, the replay system doesn't get delayed past 2025. Fingers crossed. But let me know what you want out of Valorant in 2025 in the comments down below.